Ohio lawmaker Josh Williams needs to get off my lawn. By now, most everyone has seen the midfield scuffle that took place when Michigan beat their arch rivals from Columbus for a fourth straight season. And that altercation has led a state representative to propose the OHIO Sportsmanship Act, a bill that would make flag planting, quote unquote there, a felony. My first thought was to feel bad for OSU fans because I know the vast majority of them do not share this mindset. But why should I feel bad? Y'all elected this guy. A felony. I'll tell you what should be a felony. Losing to a 500 football team at home when you're a 3-touchdown favorite after bragging to the entire world that you spent $20 million to assemble the greatest roster ever. I never thought I'd see anything softer than Texas fans trying to ban the horns down gesture, but the state of Ohio said, hold my beer, we can top it. Soft really doesn't even begin to describe this behavior. Broken is a better word. The Buckeyes are broken, so much so that Michigan may need to reconsider, and I can't believe I'm saying this, may need to reconsider Michigan State as its main rival. I see no other alternative. Also, let's straighten out some of this propaganda terminology. Just as sign stealing doesn't describe anything that was actually stolen, the phrase flag planting doesn't reflect a flag that's actually planted. All of these fields are turf, not grass. Nothing is being planted. It's not a tree. And even if it were, so what? Your mascot is literally a nut. Okay, all you're really saying is you don't want a team that beats you to celebrate. And the easiest way to stop that is get your team to fight as hard during the game as after. And as for you, Josh Williams, I'd like you to take a good look at that very painting hanging behind you in the Ohio Rotunda. That's a canvas of Commodore Perry waving an American flag while defeating the British who were calling him a traitor. I'll leave you with the same words he left the Brits. We have met the enemy, and they are ours. Now, as for whoever sent this Buckeye banner into the studio today, thank you. We were running low on toilet paper.
Oh. Woo! Hate.
This thing.
You're going to get into trouble for that.
Yeah, Cone. No, that was gas.
Buckeye fans agree with me.
No, that's the whole point. This guy, to me, recall, revote. I know we're a good political company. We know about recalling people. All right, y'all got to recall this man. He's making y'all look awful. What's his name? Josh Williams?
Yeah.
Bro, y'all need to primary this man. Primary him right now. I have not seen one Ohio State fan that's like, yeah, man, flag planting should be illegal, man. It's a felony, man.
It's kind of like the Texas horns down, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a certain faction. It's the loudest faction.
So lame. I cannot believe somebody told him. I don't think this is a good idea politically. Honestly, I really, really, really don't. I think you're just pissing everybody off. Like you have now upset everyone. Because, I mean, I see it all over social media. The Ohio State fans are like, we don't claim this. We don't claim this. And he's not, so he's not a Michigan fan.
So I did the investigation on this because Barstool Tate was trying to come out and say, no, this guy's a Michigan fan, low key. This is a false flag operation. So I did the research. Someone interviewed him in the Rotunda, which is where that picture came from. Legitimately, he is a season ticket holder Buckeye fan. He's from Toledo. Half his family's Michigan, half his family's for the Buckeyes. And he said that we just cannot allow teams like Michigan to come in here and cause this stir up by taking
There's
their
nothing worse than looking double soft.
Yeah, it's double.
Like,
it's Charmin Ultra double soft.
It's like the double stuffed Oreos or whatever. It's just you can't get beat up at home when you're a 3-touchdown favorite and then come out afterwards and have a guy do this and say, hey, not only you can't do that, but hey, man, you don't celebrate after the game.
No.
You don't do it.
Like,
Ohio State's just like, it's
not good.
Therapy session.
It really is
right
not.
Now.
They're like, it just reminds me of like that troubled kid, like in high school that you thought maybe he was getting better. And then all of a sudden you figured out that he took a leak in all the water fountains in the school. Like it just.
I just wonder. Like I really like the Buckeyes' chances in this game against Tennessee. I haven't decided who I'm going to go.
No, I don't. But not anymore.
I'm just saying, if Tennessee goes up there and wins now, you got to have a little something special, right? We saw Trae Young last night.
Bro,
Trae Young.
You want to talk about flags? It'll look like a NATO meeting if I was a Tennessee fan. There'd be so many flags up there. I mean, you look. They also said, unless I'm losing my mind, that Ryan Day is coming back next year. The AD came out and said, regardless of what happens, Ryan Day's coming back.
It's not good when you have to make that
Which I don't hate that. Like, I don't hate that for him. But then he also said, and I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong, that they need a new approach to this game. They need to de-emphasize the game, is I think what he said. Like, stop caring about it so much because it's paralysis by analysis.
Buckeyes, I need y'all to call in today.
Yeah.
I want y'all to go off on this.
De-emphasize the game. How about you play good?
How about no?
Like,
how about no? Let's
don't worry about planting a flag. Why don't y'all quit waving y'alls?
Yeah, no,
I've never seen a white flag. If I've ever seen
no, that's a great way to put it. All right, David, you tell me when we're ready for phone calls.
All right, I'll tell you. Go to the chat.
Let's go ahead and get to the chat.
All right, let's go to In Berentine 5. It says, chill out, Cone. You're a year older than me, but I still remember a long losing streak from Little Detroit.
Oh, here
I
they
remember
go.
it too. I had not just remember it, I had to live through it, which is why it's so shocking now to watch them be so broken, fragile. Like I've never seen it. We got it. Michigan State's the best rival.
You got to hacksaw ridge this thing. You got to go up there and keep finding the bodies, man. You got to climb up that rope.
I want that guy who sent that comment. I want him to call in. I really want to tell him to call in. I want to know.
1-855-236.
My neighbor, brand new neighbor Brian, who's been my neighbor for 3 years now, but that's just what we call him. He texted me today. He's furious.
I bet he is.
He's like, go off on this.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's go to 0876. He says, speaking of our mascot is a nut, Cone, you can hold these.
I'd rather not. It is
God,
Christmas.
I love this.
It is Christmas.
I love
time,
that it's
though.
devolved into this.
Let's go to Sir Mixon. He says, I don't get the Ryan Day thing. If he doesn't have a deep run into the playoff or a natty appearance, this guy has to go.
Apparently not. The guy is making the decisions, man. Like and it's just, what I say is like, yes, winning all those other games matters. It's important, but that game matters the most, dog. That one matters the most.
De-emphasize it.
De-emphasize it. You're overemphasizing. You need to de-emphasize to recenter the emphasis, is the way I feel like.
Wow. Let's go to Gary Stevenson. He says, look, guys, no flag planting in Ohio. You'll get hit with all their purses.
Yeah. It's just tough, man. I feel bad for the Ohio State fans.
Let's go to $3 donation from Marky H. Appreciate it. He says, Ryan Day will be the death of me. I can't figure it out with this team. You spent $20 million to lose to a below mediocre team in Michigan, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee came up here and laid the wood.
Well, we don't need to be saying below mediocre and stuff like that.
You're going to have to work twice as hard.
Just say their record.
Below mediocre.
I'm the head coach.
Let's go to Ruben Minoz. He says, Candy Ass is at Ohio State. If I was any team and I beat Ohio State, I'd plant my flag, just to rub it in.
I was just calling in to talk to you about the get off my lawn thing.
How you feel about it?
So I'm not against anybody planting flags. I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying? This is college. This is the sport where the heart is at. It's not the pros. That's what we're here for, right?
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I also don't think you should be upset if Sawyer comes across with the right hook. I mean, you get what you give kind of thing.
Oh, if one of the players?
Yeah, I agree with
that.
that.
I said that.
Yeah.
I said that. When I saw Jack Sawyer sitting there crying, being held back, and they're trying to get a shot of Ryan Day, but Jack Sawyer's in there too, and he's crying his eyes out saying, I'm not going to let them plant their flag on my field. I feel that. That's the guy I want playing edge for me. I don't want a different kind of guy, but also don't then turn around and try and sign legislation like it's Michigan's fault. No, like Michigan won the game. They're celebrating. The Buckeyes started that confrontation, which I don't really mind, like I said, but
sometimes it goes down like that.
And I agree. But it's like one of those cousins that you just don't talk to at the party. Like, if he's trying to go through with that legislation, like, no Buckeyes up where I live are pro.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Nobody wants to see any of that. But we're also not going to go plant flags either. I mean, I remember a couple of years, you know what I'm saying, where Michigan had under 100 total yards. I think it was Beanie Wells' senior year. Nobody planted flags then, and there was a lot of mouth jaw-jacking and things like that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a rivalry. It is what it is. I'm not against it. But
well, what's your thoughts on when David said that Michigan State might now be a bigger rivalry than Ohio State because y'all are soft and broken?
I think Michigan State's trash, and they're going to be trash for a long time.
Well, that we could agree on.
Hey, how do you feel, Nick?
What do you think about the line of ask him what you're going to ask?
Well, I was going to say, how do you feel about this Tennessee game, man?
So this is no disrespect to the Tennessee fans.
But you're about to disrespect them.
No, they may take it the wrong way, but it's not. I think we got the Penn State of the SEC. I'm not happy about the place
they're going to get upset about that one.
The Penn State of the SEC.
Wow. Look,
So they can't win the big game.
Nick, I mean, till they do it, I'm not saying you're wrong, but what I'm saying is they 100% are going to take that as disrespect. And you know what? Penn State fans are going to take it as even more disrespect. Because it's one thing to be like,
when they
golly,
both lose, then they can be there together. Right?
I know it's kind of like one thing to be like, man, Jessica's gotten huge. It's another thing to be like, man, Jessica looks like Patricia now.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst thing? What's the worst thing they can do? Just plant a flag in the middle of your field?
That was the point I was going to ask you, Nick. Like, what did you think when I was saying this term flag planting? It's not like they broke into the stadium at midnight and planted a tree that stays there forever. It's turf. They're going to midfield to celebrate with a flag.
It's an act.
Yeah, I think I would have been more disgusted if they would have came in, after the end of the game when everybody's singing Carmen, Ohio, and like disrupted that or did something along those lines. I don't care what they do after the game. They won. They should be happy about that.
Okay.
They have those rights.
So you're a rational person from Toledo.
Nick, thank you for being a rational.
Who would have thought this phone call would have been end up that's actually trashing Tennessee fans?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I know. And Michigan State. And Michigan State.
Tennessee's catching more strays than a humane society right now.
To your question about the line, the 7.5, we've all seen what's happened with Ohio State's lines this year. You bet the under. You always bet the under.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, they're going to come out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody says about Ryan Day's job.
Yeah.
If you can't go to the grocery store with your face not hidden under a hat and glasses, you don't want to be where you're at.
Embarrassment is a huge motivation.
They came out swinging against Georgia a couple years ago after losing that game at home.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't win it, but still, that was a good Georgia team.
Yeah.
Came out swinging and this ended up getting
it was
wide
I almost
left.
got divorced because of that game.
It was wide left.
Thanks,
Yeah.
At the stroke of New Year's, too.
I know. Midnight Miracle or whatever. Appreciate it, Nick.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Appreciate you guys being here. Please hit that subscribe button.